J.D. Henry here with the #1 bestseller on Amazon, The Key to Understanding Credit. If you want more cash in 2024, check your credit out. Know what your credit score is, and it'll save you a lot of money. I'm going to talk to you today about credit and credit scores and how to find out your credit. There are 3 credit bureaus. #1 is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and you can find your credit history on it. And it's wise to pull your credit report every year and look at it to make sure that those charges on the credit report are yours. And how a credit bureau report works is basically that all the credit you have, from a bank loan or a credit card, these businesses report to these bureaus, and they keep computerized files of every transaction that you have. In other words, all the money you spend on credit, whether you're on time, not on time, what your history is. And it not only has that, but it also shows your residence, where you live, how long you've lived there, your employer, how long you've worked for that particular employer. That way it gives them an idea how solid of an individual you are. In other words, in 3 years you hadn't had 3 different jobs, and you hadn't had 3 different addresses. You hadn't moved around. But we're going to talk about #1, excellent credit, green. See this green? Green means go. That you can buy anything that you want to buy because you have a credit score that's very good, from 740 rating to 799, and you have an excellent credit score of 800 to 850. And what this means is that you have worked very hard and made sacrifices to pay your bills on time, pay them off, and you've done what you've said that you would do. And is it easy? No, it is not easy. But to be the champion that our Savior, the Lord, made you, you have to do that. You make sacrifices. You don't overspend. You set your budget. You pay on time. You know, the credit card companies, when you have green, gold, that means they can't make any money off of you. They don't like you as a customer because you pay your bills on time. You pay them off early. You pay them off every month. And what that means, they make their living, the credit card companies, by interest and late fees. Well, they can't make it on you. And so think how much money that saves you. Not only that, you qualify with this type of score, green, that you can buy anything that you want to buy. You are a qualified buyer. Qualified buyer means that, #1, if you want to go buy a car or a vehicle and they're offering 0%, you qualify for 0%. And 0% is exactly what it says it is. It's 0%. So instead of paying 5.5 interest rate, you pay nothing. So that saves you a ton of money. So you have dedicated yourself to doing the right thing, paying your bills, paying them on time, and you're rewarded for it because of having excellent credit. Today in America, over 1 trillion people have credit card debt, and it's wise that, like I said earlier, that you pay it off if you can. I understand people go through problems. You know, COVID put a lot of people behind on credit cards. You may have unforeseen medical expenses. You can't, you know, there's no way you can control somebody getting sick in your family, and then you get in trouble there on your medical bills. But you know, this is the #1 credit score, from 740 all the way to 850, and it's very rewarding because when you open up a credit card or go to the bank, you know you're going to get approved because you have done the right thing. You have paid on time. So that's basically the one on green. You've been accountable. You've been very disciplined to pay and be on time. Now we're going to go to orange here. Orange is a healthy credit score, and they rate it from 670 to 739. And you know, the way that they come up with these credit scores is basically having your credit history of everybody you've paid and paid on time and haven't paid. And of course, you can get approved on a score from 670 to 739. You know, the interest rates are good. You know, you still have some negotiation power to negotiate on the terms, meaning the length of a loan at a bank. Negotiate for a better credit card. You know, you can get you a credit card that pays you interest, you know, and I say interest, I'm talking about rebates is what I'm talking about, or gift cards. In other words, you're being rewarded for having a healthy credit line. and you make the system work for you. And the credit card companies, they don't like you because you still, to have this score, you're paying your credit off monthly, you're taking care of business and doing what you need to do to be able to take care of you and your family. So that's a good thing. And from there, we'll go to the next rating, which is yellow. And why is it yellow? You see that it's a 580 to 669. Well, this is a fair credit score. Fair means that yellow, caution. Now, this person can buy what they want to buy within reason, but what takes place, like say that you go out to look at a new car and you want to buy a certain car, it's your dream car, but if you have this score 580 to 669, the dealership, they've got restrictions because your credit is fair. You have restrictions. In other words, a car you want to buy, they say, mister, you can buy a car, but you can't buy this particular car because your credit is just fair. So we'll put you in this car and you have to pay this much down. So, you know, you are qualified to buy that particular car, but the restrictions, the terms, the interest rates are higher because you've been a slow pay. You know, you haven't paid on time, you have too much debt, and what they call a open to buy. They show on that credit report that, you know, who you're working for, how much income you have, and all the money that you owe. And they take that and do that formula and say, well, you know, you can only afford this much payment per month. And so they restrict you to what payments you can have and what vehicle that you can buy. So, you know, just work hard to get your credit score up, you know, to do the right thing, and just, like I say, yellow is caution. So we'll go to red, and red's danger. I mean, here's a person that really had never paid. They hadn't paid on time. They pay very little. They haven't done the right thing. Their credit score is 300 to 579. Of course, how do you get a credit score like that? Well, it's just like any other of these credit scores that we're talking about. You've earned it. In other words, they got the credit cards, they got the bank loans, but they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They weren't very responsible at all. They did not pay. Maybe they just took the bill and throwed it on their desk, throwed it in the trash. You know, you can't do that. And what happens here is that you wind up paying anywhere from 18 to 33% in interest, depending on what you're buying. And those late fees will eat you up. You know, your credit history is bad. You haven't said you didn't do what you were supposed to do, because, you know, like we've talked about before, credit is a promise to pay back money at a certain date and a certain time and a certain payment. So these type people, you know, have to declare bankruptcy sometime. Now, there are agencies out there that can help you. They're credit, what we call repair agencies, and you can Google that and look, and they charge a fee to do that. But a lot of times, you know, they are good. They can help you. You can consolidate your debt all into one. Like you have 4 credit cards, they consolidate it into one debt. Maybe they can help you cut the interest rate on it. Maybe they can help you cut the payment on it and get the length of time, and even negotiate with these credit card companies. And let's say that you owe $20,000, they negotiate it down to $10,000. So that helps you a lot to get on track, to not get off in a wreck again, to build your score back where it needs to be. So this is so important. And I worked at a dealership one time, and what they did at the dealership, it's a new car store. They told us we're going to have a big sale this weekend, and we're going to take all the cars off the showroom floor. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to move in our finance department, and we're going to set up tables. And as soon as the customers come in, you, as a salesperson, and I was, take that customer, get a credit application on them, and have them to fill out the credit app, okay? So they did. Now, what they told us that we're going to have 3 categories of credit through this rating. If somebody shows up, and they gave people these ratings, and this is what I'm talking about today. Green, as you know, go. We can buy anything you want to buy because you deserve it. You worked hard. Red, can't really buy anything. Terrible. Can't buy a stick of bubble gum or smoke off of a hamburger. So they rated them red, they rated them green, they rated them yellow. And how would you like to be classified? Now keep in mind the credit is yours. So they told us when a person's rated and their credit is bad, they gave them a red slip, and we were told not to go wait on that person because we were wasting our time. If they couldn't buy a car, we knew not to wait on them. If they had a green one, we waited on them. They could buy anything. If they had a yellow one, they could buy, but with certain restrictions and stipulations. So I felt so sorry for people that got the red ones because they were told, hey, when you get one of the slips, red, yellow, or green, go sit in the car that you want to buy, and some salesman will wait on you. Well, I saw several people walking the lot, several people sitting in cars with the red, and I'd walk by them and they'd holler, hey, mister, can you wait on me? And of course they had the red. I'd say, well, no, sir, no, ma'am, I've got another customer. And I did have another customer, but they never got waited on because they weren't qualified to buy. And that's a terrible, sick feeling, but it's their credit. Keep in mind, it's your credit. How did you get it? Well, you know how you got it. You didn't pay your bills, or you paid your bills. You came green. And green, man, everybody was fighting to wait on a green customer. They had the green card in their hand because they could buy anything. And we even, of course, had the people with the yellow, meaning, hey, we could buy them. So, that's just telling you and showing you one life example how great credit is, how important it is, and it'll make you more cash in 2024 if you'll do what you're supposed to do and manage your credit, just like, manage it wisely. Say you're going to go out and go to happy hour. You go to happy hour, you throw down a credit card and you buy a round of drinks for your friend, and you can't afford it, but you did, and then you get in the credit card from happy hour and you look at the bill and the bill's $200 and you went from happy hour to sour hour. In other words, I wished I hadn't have done that. I've got remorse. So take care of business. Do the right thing. Have more in 24. I thank you for watching today. Take care.